What if we are living in a simulation that was created in our ancient past? A simulation based on a code that was counterintuitive to the natural code of the universe. A code that keeps us trapped in a perpetual loop of life and death. Who built this system, and were there beings in our ancient past who discovered the secret to breaking out of this simulation? In her movie Code 12, investigative journalist Melissa Tittl has discovered a code that correlates with the number 12 and connects all these ancient stories, texts, symbols, calculations, and alignments. Could someone or something have embedded a code within our oldest and most endearing stories in an attempt to help those with the eyes to see break free from our simulated reality? In this video, we investigate one more of these ancient code connections.
I'm Melissa Tittl. For over a decade, I've been researching the unknown, and what I've discovered are interesting connections to a possible code that has surrounded our existence for thousands of years. Throughout history, the number 12 seems to be intertwined with some of our most sacred stories.
I believe that encoded in all spiritual text was a message to a much greater understanding. Today we discuss the 12 referenced in the Bible, and specifically the story of Jesus and Mary. Within the Bible, there are dozens of oddly connected stories to the number 12.
And Jesus chose 12 Jewish men as his apostles. What is even more interesting about the connection with 12 and Jesus is the possible connection to Mary Magdalene and the 12.
The Gnostic texts were discovered in the 20th century.
And when they discovered them, the Gospel of Mary was missing chapters 1 through 4 and 11. And according to some scholars, the missing Gnostic text might have proven Mary also had 12 apostles of her own. The evidence we do have of possible women apostles comes to us in Luke 8, 1 through 3, where he talks about Mary Magdalene, Joanna, and Susanna, and many others who provided for the apostles. In this passage, goes on to explain it was not domestic duties that they were in charge of, but rather money and their unknown contribution that caused great value. If the lost text of the Gnostic Gospels does indeed confirm 12 male and 12 female apostles, this would make sense only because for something to transcend in quantum physics to the next level, it needs male and female energy to do so.
To some, Jesus is considered the ultimate story of human transformation. He is the embodiment of the Christ consciousness and a model for enlightenment. He is also synonymous with the idea of death and resurrection.
All right, listen up, because it gets complicated. In quantum physics, 12 represents symmetry. The dodecahedron, which is a polyhedron that has 12 faces. In this geometrical arrangement, when going from the Planck scale to larger scales, these 12 vectors of space are what allows space to propagate, travel through 0 point. Here we have an ebb and flow of magnetic and electric energy creating a torus field. Magnetic is connected to the female line and electric connected to the male line. Although the story of Jesus and later Mary Magdalene are part of a Christian story, hidden beneath the story could be the secret to translating space and time, the divine feminine and masculine coming together in some kind of sacred union, creating the 0 point to traverse time and space, using the number 12 as part of a deeper understanding on how the universe works. While widely considered a true account, could there be more to this story than first meets the eye? Could the story of Jesus and his 12 apostles and Mary and her possible 12 apostles contain a secret meaning hidden within it on how humanity can break free from our simulation? Let's go deeper.
In my movie Code 12, I interview sidereal astrologist Isaac Rodriguez, who makes another connection to the number 12 in the 12 signs of the Zodiac. According to Isaac, the ancients had a 13th sign at the center of the Zodiac wheel, the constellation of Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus is known as the serpent bearer. He represents the serpent energy or the power of resurrection. What's more, Ophiuchus points directly to the center of our Milky Way galaxy. Some ancient cultures believed that at the center of our galaxy was a doorway to leave our world and go into another. But first, one must be able to handle the serpent before they can pass through the gateway. It is written in the Bible that Jesus often referred to himself as the bronze serpent, like the one Moses lifted in the wilderness. Could he also be referring to the story of Ophiuchus? Is it possible that, like Ophiuchus, the story of Jesus' death and resurrection is a metaphor for how humans can transcend this plane of existence? Could it be that both Jesus and Mary represent the divine masculine and feminine energy that, when used in conjunction, helped create the doorway out of this world? It is interesting to note that Mary Magdalene was the only one of Jesus' disciples to be present at his crucifixion, death, and resurrection. Is this further evidence that she was intricately tied to this ritual? Is it possible that the 12 apostles are symbols much like the Zodiac, pointing towards the 13th sign, Jesus?
And Mary Magdalene.
The one who can control the serpent, the one with the power of resurrection, the one who can leave this dimension of reality? Could these stories and many others hold a key to the understanding of the universe we live in?
This knowledge seemed to be known to the ancients, but somewhere throughout our history, this important understanding of the universe was lost. Could what the ancients and this story have wanted us to understand is that equality among energies of female and male are important for the progression of our species. Without this understanding, we are only arguing about 3D reality, which has trapped us for thousands of years, the Ouroboros or the infinity loop, and not the understanding of the eternal lotus flower or the torus field. I believe that if we can unravel the code of the universe left to us by our ancient past, we might better understand our current situation, and more importantly, find a way to break out of our self-made prisons and become the ascended masters of our own universe. Until then, may the truth be within you.
Watch the movie Code 12 to learn the science behind the code on Amazon Prime right now. Subscribe here to get more updates and free content. That is, if the simulation doesn't get in your way.
Hey, thanks for watching this special presentation of Code 12 Investigates. Think you found another Code 12 connection? Then I'd like to hear it. Go to code12movie.com and tell me what else you think I should investigate. And while you're there, don't forget to sign up for our mailing list to keep up to date on all our recent discoveries. Together, we might just be able to unravel this Code 12 mystery.